political enemy of Parliament. And this group of daring young men wanted to blow up the King of England and set a fire under with bonfire and gunpowder, wanted to set Parliament aflame. It was a religious battle between the Roman Catholics and the Church of England. And Guy Fawkes got discovered in this horrible plot to blow up the King of England that was going to open Parliament on November. The gunpowder plot, as it was called, got discovered, and Guy got taken out and put on a bonfire, which of course is still part of the whole festival of Samhain. To have a human being on top of a bonfire was still a sacrifice, so to speak. So the witches and the Satanists got their holiday anyway, but it was celebrated in the person of Guy Fawkes. And very interestingly, this was a holiday that actually in England was on November the 5th, but which was remember the 5th of November. This is a sort of little thing that we as children grew up with. But the festival of Samhain or Samhain was still under the noses of the Puritans and the church alike in those days, but it was disguised as a political commemorative burning of poor Guy Fawkes, who nearly managed to blow up Parliament. That was in 1605. So that was when, this festival was sort of brought out again in the open. But interestingly enough, if in the first chapter of the Harry Potter books, the first chapter of Harry Potter, the book opens on Guy Fawkes Night, which of course is Halloween night. I mean, that's the same commemorative, the Samhain. It celebrates Samhain under the guise of Guy Fawkes. And Mr. and Mrs. Potter's house was broken into, and their little baby, Harry, was going to be killed that night. That was the human sacrifice that the evil Lord Voldemort was going to be able to do on Samhain night. But Mrs. Potter, in a bold, courageous act, threw herself on Harry, her baby, and it's an inverted satanic ritual where the mother's blood was shed for her son. And Mr. and Mrs. Potter were killed, and the evil Lord Voldemort put his curse on the forehead of Harry, the curse of death. And so here we get this inverted, upside-down debauchery where in the Bible we're told that the Son of God shed his blood for us to set us free, but in the satanic ritual, it's the blood of the mother or mother goddess or the female goddess that is given for the saving of Harry Potter. And then when the curse falls on Harry's forehead, we see that in the last 10 years since the first Harry Potter book came out, we've got all the followers of Harry Potter putting the curse of Harry on their own foreheads to show their betrothal and affection for their superhero as they go to the cinema or dress up as Harry even at Halloween night or go to the movies. When they were opening the Harry Potter movies, you'd see all the kids putting the mark of the beast on their own foreheads to show their appreciation of Harry. And of course, from a biblical point of view, this is the conditioning of this young generation who have put the mark of the beast on their forehead to show their allegiance to Harry. But one of these days, these same kids will be putting the mark of the beast on their foreheads to show their allegiance to the Antichrist.
Yeah, that's really scary when you think about it from that standpoint. Now with the movie series with Harry Potter and the books, do they all come out? Do they release them every year on November the 5th, or was that just the first book that they did that?
Well, interestingly enough, it's always roundabout. If it's not on this bonfire night, Guy Fawkes night, which was November the 5th, which is the cover-up for the festival of Samhain, the festival of death, you'll find that some of the other releases, interestingly enough, work out, come out at whether it's the winter solstice or whether it's the summer solstice or the autumnal equinox or whatever it is, but you'll find that the dates are very close to astrological happenings or nature seasons.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last movie that came out I thought that was in the winter time, or was it after Christmas? And is that the final episode or the final movie?
Well, no, they split the final. Number 7 was split into 2 parts, so that the second part of Harry Potter actually got further running, just to stretch out dollars. But then then we've got Harry Potter theme parks with Walt Disney, where there can be interactive activity with all that go to the Harry Potter theme parks, where they can interact with the magic shops, and it's really interesting how it's all part of the conditioning of the kids that grew up with Harry, being able to have interactive activities, walking down the magic lanes, being able to buy magic paraphernalia from the shops, being familiar with the magical spells that were cast in the Harry Potter books, and being able to buy supposedly, the ingredients, if you will, for the magic potions, to be able to buy magic wands and all of these kind of things from the Disney theme parks. So, and even in England, they've had one of these theme parks was going to be started. I don't know how that's coming along now. I need to look into the research of that.
That's in England, you said?
Yeah, that was
the Harry Potter amusement park or something, you mean?
Yeah, there was going to be a Harry Potter sort of amusement park, or a studio. One of the film studios that filmed Harry Potter was going to be turned into a Harry Potter memorial. I can't quite remember it. I wrote about it on my in my articles on my webpage, but it was some time ago, and so many other things happened since then. I can't keep up with everything.
Harry Potter was the biggest money maker in history, wasn't it, with movies?
Yes, with the movies, I do believe so. Yes.
There were so many hundreds of millions of dollars they made on it, if not $1 billion or so. And Harry Potter, it's witchcraft repackaged, like you talk about. But I believe nowadays, it's Harry Potter paved the way for more darker occultic themes in our teenage books. What do you think about all that now? Since do you think that's paved the way and opened the door, Pandora's box, so to speak?
Yes. 10 years ago, when Harry Potter first came out, it was the first absolutely historical event of child-friendly witchcraft. Prior to that, witchcraft has always been a fertility religion, which has been based on sexual themes, but it's not been for children, so to speak, because it's as I mentioned, it's all about fertility and magic through sexual behavior. So to put a child-friendly witchcraft book into the classroom so that children could be encouraged to read through through this so-called fictional fantasy literature. But the interesting thing is that J.K. Rowling, the British author, did a lot of research, was very well versed in witchcraft, in folklore, in mythology. She admits that she got much of the ideas and magic from actual occult rituals and it was really part of Wiccan witchcraft, pagan ceremonial magic. And she said that she got the whole story downloaded to her when she was traveling on a train journey from up north of England to London, and it just came to her through, she was channeled. She became a channel or a supernatural conduit, if you will, that supernatural powers are able to work through her and give her this incredible story, give her insight into it. And she says that she just couldn't stop writing and got really involved in it. Well, people say, well, this is just fantasy, it's not real, but witchcraft is a real religion. It has been given IRS tax-exempt status. The U.S. Supreme Court has deemed it a religion. There are hundreds and thousands of witches and Wiccans and pagans in America who truly believe in this religion. I've interviewed many witches and pagans who take their religion very seriously. They truly believe that it's a nature religion, that they can draw on powers and principalities, that they can draw on spirit guides, if you will, that they can call on what they would consider to be their friends or companions in the supernatural world, that they can be contacted. And, of course, the way that they would see this is that it's a friendly, they would call it white side of magic. Now, a Bible-believing Christian would understand that there's that Satan himself does appear as an angel of light. Paul says to the Corinthians in 2 Corinthians, I think it's chapter 11, that no wonder Satan himself appears as an angel of light. No wonder his ministers appear as ministers of righteousness. So in the Bible, it clearly lets us know that Satan himself has a white side or a light side, appearing as an angel of light, and he also appears as an angel of darkness. He deceives the whole world, we're told in the scripture. We're told that he's that dragon of old, that he has a black side. In fact, Jesus said that he saw Satan fall from the sky like lightning to the earth when he did an act of iniquity, which is severe wickedness in the eyes of God, and got a third of the angels to rebel against God and had to leave heaven. So here is the leader, Satan himself, called Lucifer, the legion of the angel of light, who took a third of the angels with him, deceived them, who are masquerading on earth as friendly beings who desperately need bodies. They want the bodies of human beings so that they can use the humans' voices, that they can use a human body to be able to be involved in their own activity. And hundreds and thousands of pagans open themselves up for this possession, if you will, or this their bodies to be the indwelling of this spirit world without realizing that there are any dangers. And what happened with Harry Potter books is that for the first time in human history, I believe, young children were tantalized into opening themselves up through these Harry Potter books that appeared to be fantasy, but actually were opening up children to supernatural darkness. And
this time of the year, when you was talking about how the witches and all of them are inviting, themselves to become demonized, possessed, or whatever you want to call it, during this time of the year, from what I heard in the past from someone that talks about it also, that Satan seems to benefit the most at this time of the year because of the emphasis on darkness and death and all the negativity that goes with it. And, during Halloween, Satan requires a sacrifice. Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard a click. I'm sorry.
No.
I thought maybe somehow we got disrupted here. Okay. And, what's your take on that with, with the human sacrifices and all the, the the rumors, and you hear about the children on missing on milk cartons, and then you got the folks saying that it's a bunch of satanic panic, they call it, and it's controversial. And I've even picked up books, in the Christian bookstores throughout the past, and I've had some eminent scholars, really high-profile apologetic folks that would deny that Satanism was really